Now that we got this neck sorted out, we need to get these body blanks glued on. Let's get to that. And we start by spreading some glue on this neck beam and gluing these body blanks to it. And as always, the best glue spreader money can buy, your finger. That's why you don't want to cut them off, kids. They come in handy so often. Then we break out some clamps and start clamping this thing up. I looked all over for the offcuts from this body to use as clamping cauls. I couldn't find them, so we just employ a couple extra clamps here and there. And after letting that dry overnight, we can pull the clamps off, and boom, we've got a guitar-shaped thing. Now, my go-to for cleaning up glue squeeze out is the card scraper. If you're not cleaning your glue squeeze out with a card scraper, you're doing it wrong. I said what I said. Next task is to set up the router to route a small wiring channel that will live underneath the top. Couple guide blocks stuck down with double-sided tape, and then we just run the router along that. Then I need to get this black veneer ready to go on underneath the top. Spread some glue around, this being way too big of an area for just using your finger. Now you know what to do with all those business cards people keep giving you. And with the black veneer in place, we can get the top over there, start pouring some glue all over it. and then down it goes. Then we employ every clamp known to man to hold this thing together. Yeah, that should be good. And after another day of drying, we can unclamp it. Yeah, that's looking rather sweet. From there, we can start sticking our body template on this thing. Now, that fretboard is kind of in the way on a neck through, so I'm just sticking down some spacer blocks, and then I'll put the template on top of the spacers. Works the same. Making sure we line up that center line just right. And then we grab the trusty DeWalt DW618 router and a top bearing bit, and we start routing this body to shape. Now, a couple things to point out here. One, I'm routing this in small amounts. Do not try to route this in a single pass. Do it in small 1/4 inch depth passes, go around it, lower the bit, go around it again, repeat until you reach the full depth. And B, I'm using what is referred to as downhill routing. What I'm trying to do is read the direction of the grain and move the router in a way that is trying to push the fibers into the fiber next to them, not lifting the fibers away from the one next to them. That's why you see me moving the router and changing the direction of travel several times. I'm trying to keep the grain supported. This helps avoid that nasty router chip out. And once we get down to a decent depth, We flip the whole thing over, switch to a bottom bearing bit, and finish routing from the other side, again, using that downhill method. And I left the template on the top, of it so that it sat flat on my workbench. The key here is to just take your time. Earbuds, good music, go slow, all of that. And there we have it. Just like that, we've got a Telecaster shaped object. Now, definitely still some cleanup to do around this heel transition and getting these horns into the neck area. But, you know, I'm not going to get after that with a big router. That's going to take some hand tools and a little bit of carving. A couple little skip marks from the router on this end grain, so we'll clean that up as well. But this thing is definitely rough shaped. Next up, we're going to need to start routing this bridge cavity for that tremolo system. I think I'm going to start with that before I do the pickups. So we'll get all of those templates measured out, figured out exactly where that's going to be, get that all situated, and then we'll go from there. But I'm going to save that for the next video, so make sure you subscribe. Ring that notification bell so you know when that video is posted. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Maybe share it with your friends. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot.
Voyeur Guitars. Who's watching you?